Hey guys, so welcome to part 8. Now, this is going to change the format of the Beyonce experience. Now, guys, this is going to be big, so please have something to drink and have a little snack as we delve in more into the Beyonce experience. Now, this is some shocking stuff that I figured out even more. I think you guys are going to be even more shocked when I explain this to you guys. It's beyond belief what I just figured out, and it's hard for me to comprehend how Act 3 is gonna fit in to the entire trilogy now that I figured more things out. I think you guys are gonna be in for a treat. So before we continue, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel as we embark on the Beyonce experience on the channel. Now we are gonna take a small break once part 8 comes out, and then we're gonna continue with the other daily monthly updates, and then we will return back in July for the Beyonce, probably mid-August or so. But guys, here is the things that I found out. So for one, here is some of the craziest thing I find out. When Renaissance came out, which was I think 2022, a lot of speculation, especially when it came to the promotional release of this album, was shrouded in a lot of mystery. And the mystery that came out when Beyonce actually released Renaissance, one, the hint that Lady Gaga knew Beyonce was going to release this, and two, here's another fact that Beyonce, when you went to her Beyonce website, Beyonce had 4 different poses. These 4 poses are not just for show. At first, I thought it was just for the merchandise. It's going to be 4 different versions of it. But when I peeled the layers even more back, it kind of resonates with even the Beyonce bowl for Act 2. And that those 4 poses are also the 4 versions of the eras that we're gonna get from Beyonce. With Renaissance being the first to complete out, and Cowboy Carter is still on the go right now. The tour is still going. The tour is supposed to be wrapping up, I would say, next month, which is in July. Beyonce is now starting off. She just finished off the leg of the London tour, doing 6 nights there. She's gonna do 3 nights in Paris, and then she's returning back to the US. Also, that mirrors the Cowboy Carter different set list of the different poses. The Renaissance pose also predicts the 4 acts. That's crazy, because everything was in this dark and white, black, silver, and that each of those boxes were different pose. Now, if you think of the different horses and the different hand gestures that she's been hinting at when she was performing at the Beyonce Bowl, you could clearly see there's the attention of detail of the different poses from even the limited edition versions to the actual box set of each of the acts. The first act had this very Renaissance look with the horse, and then there's an alternative cover where behind the cover has these revelation type of characters. She even have the Alexander da Vinci painting of God and Adam in a weird way if you look back into the Renaissance. Also, Beyonce is also paying tribute to very heavy Christian faith energy throughout these albums. One, the 4 horses of the Notre Dame. You could also mirror those 2 things with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I remember I did a video like this very early in the past when Beyonce was basically asking about the ways that she was going to re-release herself, reimagine herself in a different way. The fact that there's a part of the interlude that shows that Beyonce and herself are being the same point of angle similar to the famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci of Adam touching God, which is a very profound cover of the revelation of the Renaissance. And I think that the visuals will be like the revelation of the Echoville, and how those revelations that she is creating are different spaces that was once, I would say, conquest by different ethnic groups, and that she reclaiming those spaces are allowing her to basically create the narrative that she always wanted. You know, after looking back on everything that she has done, you could see that each of these four albums mirrors the modern version of themselves. Like, for an example, you have Beyonce's first album mirrors Self-Titled. You have B-Day mirroring Lemonade. You have Sasha Fierce mirroring Renaissance. You have Four mirroring Cowboy Carter. And if you think about it, each of these are sonically connect to each other in a way where they were more personal than you expect. I think for the start, Beyonce is also, for Act 3, she's also focusing on the heritage revolution flag. She has a lot of version of herself connecting the black and red. She also did that even at the Renaissance tour, where she had the red fiery cowboy costume, and that even from the different interludes, we saw that Beyonce was channeling the different legends in the past. She had Little Richard, she had Chuck Berry, she even had Elvis. So, and here's a crazy thing, there's a part on the Metlife tour where she came together with her dancers. They almost formed like an X, indicating like the Malcolm X that she did at the Super Bowl 50, when she helped Coldplay and Bruno Mars headline. I think the third horse will be the horse of war, and her going to war with the music industry itself. I think each era of the Renaissance is literally creating these spaces that she is trying to conquer. Act 1, Renaissance, focus on the deliverance of trying to feel happy, but also being very serious and grounded, and liberation. Act 2 is conquest. She is focusing on a pivotal point to reclaim that, which in a way I think Beyonce succeeded, because the country music had to play her album, and with her pushing so much, she now changed the narrative of even the country music. The aesthetic of the country music landscape has now changed forever. There was an interview that just released of K. Michelle praising Beyonce of what she has done for country and what it means for country, because she has now changed and conquered country to the point where the Grammys now effectively affecting the nominations next year for traditional and contemporary best country. This is all due to what Beyonce have done just by winning album of the year. And like I said, if you look at the color of the heritage revolution flag, it kind of mirrors the three out of the four horses that reflects on the flag: the red, the black, and the white, or you could say the red, the black, and the blue, or the red, the black, and the gold. Whichever way it goes, it has the African colored flag involved into it. And how we already seen the Renaissance horse could be considered like the green polished horse. The white horse is Chardonnay, the Cowboy Carter one. And then you have the black horse would be rock and roll, or it could be the same horse, which I feel as if the way she's gonna tie in these things is gonna be interesting. I've been saying this, that the back of the of vinyls are becoming a full-fledged horse, and that I also feel as if there's a track that says Mechanical Bull. I think the last act, or it's like a chimera thing. I think Beyonce is also bringing out other different mythical creatures, such as the mechanical bull that she referenced in Tyrant, as well as and the almost to the last song, Sweet Honey Bucket, and also in her promotional of the release of the costumes for Cowboy Carter commercials, she also revealed that she was sitting on a black, like a dark black stallion horse, denting a blue suit that was custom, I think, with Adidas. But when you look even further, you look at the connection that she did for the Beyonce Bull, you start realizing that the four horses that I just shown you guys also depicts on the clothes that she was wearing at the Beyonce Bull commercial, where the guitar of the banjo is also the reference of the Renaissance stage, but also Cowboy Carter Act 2. The shawl is a rock and roll thing because Stevie Nicks loves to wear shawls in her performance concerts. That's a shawl, people. And then the hat, right? She's literally like channeling the Stevie Nicks White Witch thing. Is really telling that, and I can't believe I didn't realize. And then the glitter body case suit reminds me of Renaissance, right? And Summer Renaissance, definitely the last track on the Renaissance album. So in a way, she is depicting the three acts by wearing the three distinct things, but when it comes together, it becomes a larger picture than we expect. Also, I mentioned this before. When Beyonce went to the iHeartRadio Innovation Award last year, she was accepted by the Academy of the iHeartRadio that she is the Innovator Award, and her showing up in this Versace bodysuit, it almost feels like a rock star. She is definitely channeling Michael Jackson, Prince. They have this aesthetic rock and roll look, and I think what's cool is that I haven't seen her really pay homage to Michael Jackson as of yet, and I think the rock album is definitely gonna give Bad energy, as well as Purple Rain. I feel as if she's gonna definitely channel those two albums to the purest level. Let's also not forget that when she released Renaissance, and when Renaissance was released, we could only saw there was 16 tracks. And then when Renaissance finally showed the different names of the different songs, you saw that it's in a DJ play cassette loop. And at the end of I'm That Girl, the echoing of the noise basically playing at the end goes into the inner loop of the interludes for Cowboy Carter, where they say propaganda is key to making profitable, and she was dressed as the Uncle Sam of the music industry. So the way she's interconnecting these things, it's very interesting how those little box sets that she actually created for herself, I think that connects more further to her being who she is as an artist. But at the same time, I feel as if those different poses, as I mentioned, has a bigger connection to the four acts. And also after those three acts, I feel as if the fourth act, besides Echoville, I've been thinking about, I also feel as if we might get a split. I think the fourth act is bigger because it might be a split between the visuals and also a Destiny's Child reunion. Because let's not forget that at the end of when she did the complete search for I think after the Renaissance, she reconciled with the original DC girls, but at the same, the other two members that was examined, Latoria and Lataria, and it was cool to see her, all five women under one roof, seeing her and supporting Beyonce. So I feel as if she might do a Destiny's Child's reunion, but this time include all five ladies. I think that, it's gonna be interesting seeing all five at once under one space. But I think they're gonna definitely. She has something bigger in plan, especially if this is her swan song of how she wants to take a break, just like Rihanna took a break for a long time. I think after that big trilogy, 3-act or 4-act project, I definitely see Beyonce taking a long pause off the music industry. I think that she's gonna take a long break. She might focus on cosmetics and things like for like product, just like Rihanna. But I think she's gonna do that because I have a weird feeling after going to the tour myself. I have a feeling that Beyonce is trying to not retire but take it more slower than usual. Like we might hear from her like it could be like 2 or 4 years, every 4 years or something like that. Because mind you, this trilogy project started off 4 years, or it took her 5 or 4 years to make, and then it took even 4 additional years to make up the Cowboy Carter. So if we didn't have COVID, we would have been celebrating the Renaissance. But I think the way that the album did so well, all of them, is due to the fact of the break that we had. She was able to rearrange things and think more thoroughly, and thus giving us a boost of happiness and also historic reverence of history towards country and the importance of genre bending. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next project.